Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, and we're going to be having a reaction video here today to the Browns overtime win. It looked like we weren't going to pull it off, but the defense shown today, like I called in the preview, and I called into my Twitters, should I say tweets, that this defense was going to start gelling, and this was its come out game. And it showed it on third down. There's a lot of things we got to go over. So let's just dive right into it. As I said, the Browns win their second game of the year. They're 2-1. They are undefeated in the AFC North. Yes, they did have the tie against the Steelers, but they still have not lost, and that is huge coming into this week and ending with 2-1, and kind of we're a half game out of first place. If Cincinnati lost, I don't know. I did not look at that score yet. Actually, I was going over some notes, and I wanted to get this reaction video out. I know that they caught back up, and they were 17-17. So hopefully they lost, and the Browns are kind of right there, you know. I know Pittsburgh was handling Atlanta, and this should show you where the Cleveland Browns are at. They struggled against the Raiders. I think that was our fluke game. Every other game we've played other than the Jets have been playoff caliber teams. The Steelers are a playoff caliber team. New Orleans, a playoff caliber team, and the Ravens are an elite defense. I was watching Twitter, and some people said that the offense needs to help the defense. We were going against an elite defense. This was a defensive team, and this is a defensive game. And Baker Mayfield and company still pulled it off. And I want to hit a few big points. So let's dive into it. The Browns defense held Baltimore to basically nothing. Yes, Flacco had 298 yards, but no touchdowns. When it came time, they shut them down. This defense is an elite defense. I'm going to say it again. They are one player away, and I believe it's a safety away from being elite. And how I can show you that is Peppers stepped up today. Peppers just was all over the field making tackles. Coverage was great. He was a different player today than he has ever been for the Browns. If we get this Peppers, if we get this player, this Browns defense can be very, very dangerous. They continue getting the takeaways, and they continue to amaze me by how they come up with stops. I know someone's going to throw in there about the Raiders, but they are an elite defense. They shut down the run. I like the defense against the run today. I really like what they did there. Collins did have a high average, but they really shut down the run. They were shutting down lanes. I think Collins had a big run for 19 yards, so his numbers kind of bloated a little bit. Mayfield came out, and he showed who he was. This is what I think Baker is, and he's shown it every week. He got 340-something yards. Let me see here. I got it down. 342 yards for 25 of 43. He had the interception early when Higgins and him were off hitch, and I want to talk about Higgins a little bit. That was a miscommunication interception. It wasn't a bad throw. It's a miscommunication. The miscommunications do happen. It was a throw that if Higgins made the right call, would it have been intercepted still? Who knows? But anyways, he got another TD. It was to Higgins. Beautiful, beautiful play, by the way. Higgins was wide open. It was a beautiful ran route. I think Higgins and Landry have 1-2 spot locked down. I think Higgins, I'm hoping nothing serious happened. I think Higgins is our guy. I think the 1-2 spot, Landry and Higgins. I think that Callaway still has some problems. He's still dropping the ball. We'll get into that in a little bit. Our running game. I knew it was going to be hard, but I thought we would break out and we were going to show that we could run the ball today. And we struggled. Hyde still got his 3.7 yards. Chubb really didn't get into the game that much. I think he had, 4 or 5 carries. I didn't even actually look. He had 3 carries for 2 yards. They bottled him up. 3 carries. You cannot really judge him on an elite defense like Baltimore. So I keep leaning on that if Higgins didn't get hurt, I don't think that we would have went in overtime. Callaway had a big drop. I got pages of stuff I was writing down after every single thing, and I'm not going to go over this. I'm going to actually do another review about this game and consolidate my notes a little bit. But Callaway came up with some huge drops, and so did Njoku. Njoku, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't care if a player touches the ball. If it's in your hands, you need to catch. And he had 2 huge drops. It was drive killers. Callaway, another huge drop. That was a drive killer. Now, I know some people are going to bring up the pass interference at the end or the legal contact. I think it was too. It was explained that the ball was in the air and uncatchable. It's not a penalty. I didn't know that. I thought if there still was a legal contact, there could still be pass interference on the other side of the field, even if the ball wasn't thrown that direction. So it didn't end up affecting the game because a few plays later, we got away with the pass interference. When Flacco threw to the tight end on that slant route, I think we seriously got away with the pass interference call there. I missed the first part of the first quarter. The game wasn't coming in for me. I don't know why. We got it fixed, and I started watching the game after that. We have to get the flags. And this is where I'm going to talk about Hue Jackson. Hue Jackson needs to get control of this team and start putting his footprint on this team if he has one. The penalties are killing this team. The drops are killing this team. This team's defense is elite, period. It is an elite defense. It leads the league in takeaways. And yes, the yardage are there, but they are still elite. Teams are starting to scheme for Garrett. Garrett is totally unblockable. On his sack, he was double teamed, and he was still pushing 2 men back into Flacco. That's insane. It's just insane. I mean, 2 offensive linemen blocking one guy should be able to handle anyone, and they weren't handling them. So I think they need to get back to basics. The penalties are killing us. The penalties are in some of the worst plays, like the scramble by Baker Mayfield. It was called back. That was a huge 3rd down play, and them are called drive killers. We all know that. We're Browns fans. We know what that's all about. Now, I don't really have anything bad to say about the defense. Usually I'm going to be talking about Peppers, but Peppers stepped up. Peppers was a different player today. The defensive line played better than I have seen them all year, and that's a scary thought. Collins really stepped up today. I'm not a Collins fan since he's been here. He's one of them hit or miss. He reminds me of Mingo. Mingo either had a really good game or he was nowhere around. And that's when I think of Collins. It's either I'm hearing his name all day or I'm not hearing him at all. And today was one of them days that I heard his name a lot, and he was involved with a lot, along with Peppers. Our special teams are what's killing this team. Our special teams is just like, it shouldn't even have been. If Joseph would have made the extra point, and we wouldn't be talking right now about overtime win. I honestly believe that Joseph is not the kicker that will be on this team next year. I don't believe it. He's just there for a stopgap. I don't know if he's even going to make it to the end of the year. That last kick was ugly, but he made it. Good for the kid. He's a soccer player, so his style of kicking is a little different. And when you go back, soccer players usually aren't great field goal kickers. Their accuracy is not there, and that you see it with him too. I think his career is like 69%. There is one thing I want to talk about the defense. The open field tackling needs to get a little bit better. We're trying to hit with the shoulder instead of wrap up. That's something that can be fixed in 1 week. The Baltimore Ravens came in as one of the best teams on 3rd down. The Cleveland Browns shut them down. That was huge. And the Baltimore Ravens are a playoff caliber team. They are a team that is talked about that could be a contender. And we took it to them. The Steelers are an amazing offense. And again, we took it to them week 1. The New Orleans are taking it to everyone else. We brought down that offense. This defense is an elite defense. And once this offense stops dropping passes, I feel that we're going to be there, and we're dropping passes in the most important times, them 3rd downs, them 2nd down and longs. We're dropping them passes. I want to talk about what his name, Willies. Where'd he come from? Higgins gets injured. He came in. He had a couple catches. He had 3 catches for like 60 yards. But that last, at the end of the game in overtime, we needed something big, and it's a rookie. I'm going to tell you guys, other than the drops and Callaway, I don't think Callaway should be starting at all. I think he should be getting maybe 20% of the snaps. We need to stop dropping balls, but this wide receiver group is trying to live up to what Landry wants, and that is a good thing. We haven't had a leader like Landry in a long time, and I'm starting to see that Landry actually, if you watch the games, and I wish I could talk to someone that was there live, he talks to the wide receivers after every drop. He was all over Callaway today. He was all over him. I don't know what happened to Higgins. I didn't get the report. I didn't hear anything talked about. So I'm hoping that it's not serious, because I think Higgins is a big part of Baker Mayfield's future. I think Higgins is going to be – we're going to be hearing the Higgins, Baker Mayfield a lot this season. Gaines stepped up this week. Gaines did pretty good. I don't think that we're going to miss Mitchell as bad as we thought. Gaines is not a Mitchell, but he's playing well enough to not move over anyone and mess around with that secondary. I think Gaines can come in and just fill in. Harrison, except for some penalties, he did pretty good with Terrell Suggs today. We got to talk about defense again. Ward, I'm going to go on record saying he might not even just go for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He might be playing for Defensive Player of the Year. He's already shown that he can shut down the receivers. He's going after becoming a ball hawk. He's a great tackler, except for one tackle when he was tackling the running back, he didn't wrap up. And the block field goal, he's starting to be molded into what he's going to be. And it's only 5 weeks in, guys. Ward is showing me more than Hayden ever did. I think that Ward is going to be an amazing cornerback for us, and I'm excited about the future of that. Our offense, though, people are going to look down on it. We went against an elite offense. Our defense, we went against an elite defense. Baker Mayfield got a touchdown. We went down, and he produced enough points to win the game. That's the big point here. Is we leaned on our defense. It was old-fashioned Cleveland Browns football. Our defense won this game. Yes, Mayfield drove down. Willie made the big catch, but defense won this game. We have not had that in a very long time. The second half was just a defensive battle. That's all it was hands down. So overall, I'm going to give the Cleveland Browns, the nod. They got their second win. There's nothing wrong with it. They went down an AFC North dirty battle. The referees are calling stupid calls like they always have. It is what it is, but we came out with the win, and it's something to build on. We're 2-2-1, guys. 2-2-1. Who would have thought in week 5, after week 5, we'd be 2-2-1? Am I saying that we're going to be going after the AFC North? Who knows? It's there. But I'm not going to say, yes, we're going to win the AFC North. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're giving every single football team hell this year. It's Cleveland Browns are not a circled win for anyone anymore. And teams that are even going to the playoffs, looking at the Super Bowl or looking at the Cleveland Browns saying they're going to make some noise. Garrett's an animal. He's unblockable. Ward, people are starting to throw away from Ward now. They're starting to throw away from him. Peppers, if he could stick on this and become that strong safety that we need, this defense can be special. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. The Cleveland Browns won. I want to go over some other stuff, and I want to actually watch more of the game on my replay and look at some other things that I thought I jotted some notes down, but I really want to look at them. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like what you see, subscribe, hit the bell so you see my new videos coming out, and I'll talk to you guys when we do the preview for the LA game. All right, guys, I'm out.